I'm here to chat with you about one of my favorite grape varietals today, which is Chardonnay. It's often misunderstood. People kind of put it into a box, especially California Chardonnay. They're thinking big, oaky, buttery, vanilla bombs of a wine, which is unfortunately not the case for most Chardonnays in the world. Chardonnay is often called the winemaker's grape or the winemaker's wine because it is actually a relatively neutral grape. The flavor profiles are really dependent on where in the world it's grown and what winemaking techniques are being used to produce the wine. For example, if the Chardonnay is being made in a warmer climate, like parts of California, Australia, you are gonna get some more tropical fruit notes. The notes of green apple are gonna be a little riper, a little fuller, a little richer. And then of course, it's very dependent on if there's oak usage or not. If it's gonna be in a cooler climate, like Champagne, like Chablis, it's gonna be a little bit leaner, it's gonna be a little more tighter, there's gonna be brighter citrus fruit, Meyer lemon, those apples are gonna be a little more tart, a little more crisp. And it can be incredibly high acid, which makes it a lovely wine for pairing a wide range of foods. So Chardonnay is grown all over the world. It does really well in a lot of different soil types. It's very vigorous. It does seem to like chalk, clay, limestone the most, which is why it does so well in places like Burgundy, like Chablis. The grape itself, green-skinned, very big, tight bunches, big leaves. It's very vigorous. Can use a lot of canopy management to make sure it ripens in some of these cooler climates. Chardonnay is originally thought to be from the Burgundy region of France, and its parents are a white grape called Gouais Blanc, and then its other parent is very famous Pinot Noir. There seems to be a misconception out there that Chardonnay is going to be this big, oaky, buttery vanilla bomb, and I understand why people draw away from that. I often will suggest to a guest at the restaurant to try a Chardonnay, and they have this reaction of like, oh, Chardonnay. You're like, I know what you're thinking. I'm not gonna give you that, I promise. So it's really, really cool to introduce somebody to something like a Chablis for the first time, where it is this incredibly lean mineral expression of the grape, and just see their eyes light up and they're like, this is Chardonnay? And I'm like, yeah, Chardonnay's awesome. Do you like Champagne? Because there's usually a lot of Chardonnay in there, or it's all Chardonnay. So there are these different expressions, and you can have Chardonnays that are oaked, that have neutral oak, or maybe a small percentage of new oak, that are not masking the soul of the fruit. Sometimes oak on a wine can be like too much salt on your steak. If it's a really good steak, you don't want too much stuff on there. You want to taste the steak. So the three wines I brought today are all very different expressions of Chardonnay. I love all these wines so much. The first wine is this beautiful 2017 Moreau-Nadet Chablis. So this guy is from this region in Chablis, which is technically part of Burgundy. It is, in fact, closer to Champagne than Burgundy. I think it's over 60 miles away from the rest of Burgundy. So it is up there, very cold climate. They have in the past had trouble ripening these grapes, so they're very lean, mineral, acidic, racy, very energetic grapes. There's generally a lot of stainless steel fermentation and aging used in Chablis, which just keeps the notes on these wines very primary and very bright, with the exception of Grand Cru and some Premier Cru Chablis, where they will age or ferment sometimes in neutral oak. The second wine is the lovely Ojai Vineyard Bienacido Chardonnay from Santa Maria Valley in Santa Barbara. So the Ojai Vineyard itself is located in Ojai. They did source from this very famous vineyard, the Bienacido Vineyard, which I believe the first vintage out of there was 1973. It's over, I believe, 800 acres. And 300 of those acres are planted to Chardonnay. This producer, Adam Tomac, he also started Au Bon Clement around the same time that he started Ojai Vineyard, first vintage being, I think, 1983. So this is really beautiful. Adam's approach is very European in style. In Santa Maria Valley, even though it can get cooler there, the grapes do not have trouble ripening, and he has very little interest in making these like monster, huge Chardonnays. So it's very much about vineyard management for him, picking early, retaining the acidity, and then also using neutral oak on here. He's not throwing any new oak bombs on there. And then the last wine, it's a beautiful Chardonnay from Pierre Peters. I think he's the 4th generation winemaker there now. So this is a Blanc de Blanc, meaning that it is white of whites. That's the literal translation. So it is 100% Chardonnay. In Champagne, there are 3 major grapes: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. Very rare to see a champagne made entirely of Pinot Meunier. You will see 100% Pinot Noir champagnes, which are Blanc de Noir. A lot of them are gonna be blends of the three grapes, but then when you do have Blanc de Blanc, it's 100% Chardonnay. From the Côte de Blanc specifically, most of the Chardonnay grapes from this producer are from Le Mesnil-sur-Roger, which is a lovely Grand Cru village in Champagne. So once again, up north, closer to Chablis, gonna be very nice and bright and refreshing and mineral. And these wines have lovely mousse to them. There's kind of a chalky quality to them as well because of the terroir there. And it's just so refreshing and beautiful. Let's crack into the Chablis. Oh, I love Chablis. There's a quality to Chablis that's been described by my lovely wine director. He said it's like a Parmigiano Reggiano, like sweet tart, because there is this kind of like cheesy texture to it on the nose, but it's incredibly bright. A lot of Meyer lemon, bright yellow apples, kind of underripe yellow pears, and there is that mineral, flinty quality to it. A lot of people say Chablis smells like gunflint, and I'm definitely getting a little bit of that on this. So fun. Such high acidity. My mouth is watering. Oh, that's lovely. This will be really nice with seafood, especially. This would be great with oysters at the beginning of your meal. This would be great with some kind of leaner whitefish. Just because this is so high acid, this will pair great with a wide range of things. This would be great with salads, with vinaigrettes. Sometimes vinaigrettes are really hard to pair. Anything that has any kind of rich butteriness to it, this would be great with. Chablis ages very well because it is so high in acid. One of those characteristics that does make a wine super ageable. Alrighty, let's crack into Adam's beautiful Ojai Vineyard Chardonnay. I love these guys. If you live in California, their tasting room is so close, you have no excuse not to go. They also make, it should be noted, incredible Syrahs, which I believe were some of their first grapes planted, and also Pinot Noirs. They just make beautiful wines. They make Riesling, gorgeous wines, but I do love their Chardonnays. Gonna be a little bit richer, a little bit fuller than that Chablis, but still with lovely balance because Adam does pick early. You can already see the colors are already a little deeper, a little richer than the leaner Chablis. And already on the nose, much rounder, richer fruit. The apples are riper, they're fuller. This one has a little more curve to it, you know? It's a little sexy. Yeah, that's beautiful. It has more Meyer lemon, almost kind of getting into like a lemon custardy kind of quality. A lot of citrus. This is getting a little more floral as well, actually. Just these qualities that might be a little more muted in something as lean as this are starting to kind of bloom because it did have a chance to ripen a little bit more. It's almost getting some kind of underripe tropical fruits on there as well. So pretty. And a little bit of that, this is seeing more mallow than this, so you are getting a little bit on the finish there. So malolactic fermentation is basically the conversion of malic acid, which is a little harsh, a little astringent, into lactic acid, which is a lot softer. So when a wine goes through full mallow, a lot of times you are gonna get that kind of buttery, toasty quality in it. And when something can be austere and clean and sometimes astringent, mallow will soften it up and give it some texture. It's just a winemaker's choice. Sometimes it'll go through partial mallow. Sometimes the winemaker just lets it go through full malolactic fermentation. So pairing with this wine, because it is a little bit richer than the Chablis, gonna pair it with richer foods that have a lot more butter, maybe a slightly richer fish like a Dover sole that's just cooked really simply in butter, you know, with potato mousseline on the side. This would be great with lobster dishes, with crab dishes, you know, all cooked in butter. These really rich, round, luscious foods are great with wines like this. It has enough acidity to stand up to it, but enough richness to meet the qualities of those dishes that are rich as well. I mean, anytime I get an excuse to open champagne, I try and take it. That's another reason why it always blows my mind when people say that they hate Chardonnay. I'm like, do you hate champagne? Because that's not cool. Them is fighting words. Everybody likes champagne. I mean, already gorgeous mousse on this. Love it. Just makes me so happy. So if you don't like champagne, I guess that's okay, because there's more for me and for all of us. God, it's super, super mineral. Oh, that's just so good. Oh, that's so good. So with champagne, the champagne method, all the bubbles in this wine are created in this bottle. This bottle itself had a still wine in it. They added in sugar and yeast, trapped it in there, so this poor sugar is stuck in there with all this yeast. It's just coming after it, eating it up, releasing more carbon dioxide, but it's trapped in the bottle, so that's how you get your bubbles. And then when there's nothing left for the yeast to eat anymore, they unfortunately die. And we get all their lovely bodies trapped in the neck of the bottle, which are releasing this beautiful, beautiful texture and flavor, these brioche, marzipan notes that come out in these champagnes, and especially because it is chilly up there and you're getting very muted, very lean fruit notes. That kind of textural aspect, the marzipan, the brioche, and those notes really come out really nicely in this wine. But it does have like those little white flowers, really lean, beautiful, bright, like citrus zest, lemon zest. And the thing I love about champagne, you can pair this with anything. So yeah, as you can see, Chardonnay comes in such a wide range of styles. These are just 3 very limited examples of what's out there. You can get beautiful Chardonnay from Australia. You can get beautiful Chardonnay from Washington. You can get beautiful Chardonnay from South Africa. It's all over the place. So please, 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 don't write off Chardonnay. Don't write off any varietal, but especially don't write off Chardonnay, because it has so much potential to make such a wide range of beautiful wines. And frankly, you're missing out if you're not trying it. So cheers to Chardonnay.